TV here with Bully TV. People, listen. Why do you think the American Bully? I always forget to say this. Go ahead and subscribe. People say you got to continue to remind people to subscribe. Why do you think the American Bully still has such a trying time being recognized as a breed? Why is it still considered, or people see, you know, look at that blocky head, look at that pit bull. It's not a pit bull, man. But if you walk down the road, you just really can't explain it. Well, according to the AKC and other information that I've researched, it takes 3 dogs to create a breed. And there has to be a distinction in the dog that separates it from other breeds. And if you use 2 dogs, it's called a cross. So when you think about the Alapaha, the bulldog, the Old English bulldog, they cross different things to make things smaller, smash the nose, etc., to create this different ideas of bulldogs. And technically, the American Bully is really just an American pit bull on steroids, as they always said from day one. They wanted to create a pit bull on steroids. And if you know anything about the AKC has a very tight standard. It has to fit this and nothing more. Therefore, if you want to show dogs and be competitive and it does not fit the parameters or that box, your dog, I mean, it doesn't matter. But the thing is when people saw these exaggerated features such as dogs being 100 pounds, dogs having 22, 23, 24, 26, 28-inch heads, you go, that's not a pit bull. Well, what is it? So then you have this thing where people hate, and definitely at the start of this breed, American Bully specifically, the fact that they introduced bulldog, or that people would put bulldog in and say, man, that's stupid, or they disrespect people. Like it was like disrespectful to the American Bully to put the bulldog in, but also they wanted to be so far removed from the terrier. It's like, we don't want that either. So then you say, well, what's the in between? And in retrospect, had they just started with the bulldog, the staffy, and the pit bull, and then spent 20 years, like the shorty bull, molding this idea of a dog with exaggerated features, so that it's very clear today what it is. It might still look like a cross because of the cropped ears, because of the big head, because of some of the drive, but not so much drive. But at least it would look more like, it'd be more consistent. So, what are your thoughts? Part of me challenging you. If I were to create American Bully years ago, I would have called it the American Terrier, because objectively, it was just a pit bull. And now that bull baiting no longer exists, I would have took the pit bull out of it and just said it's an American Terrier. Because technically, still to this day, people still think it's a pit bull, which is full name American Pit Bull Terrier. But I'm interested, what would you have called it? Because I personally also think that the name American Bully is trash. Personally, like, what is, how do you even explain that? There's so many words in terms of connotations that go with the word bully that just ain't a good look. It's just not a good look. We know what the French Bulldog is. We know what the Rottweiler is. We know what the German Shepherd is. We know what the Western Shepherd is. We know what the Golden Doodle is. We know what every dog is, and even for that matter, what it can do. Any Shepherd, any Terrier, they have a distinction that makes that dog unique. The American Bully is supposed to be a companion dog. We also know that the dog has a lot of health issues. What's the point in having a companion with you if it can't do anything? And then if it gets unhealthy or something bad happens to it, you spend a lot of money at the doctor and at the vet. So why, again, is American Bully so hard to recognize? It's because they've been fighting the one thing that they have to accept, but now that it's being accepted, unfortunately, it's probably going to take another 20 years for the breed to be clear in what we are identifying as the look. And remember, you should know what the dog looks like based on the face. That's how we recognize things. That's how I'm recognized in every part of anyone's life. They know exactly who I am because of how I look. And unfortunately, the American Bully across the board looks very unique, very different. There is the problem. So when you build your program, you kind of got 2 ways you can go. The problem is you got to use the same name. You can breed to the Terrier side, or you can breed to the Bulldog side. The problem is nobody's breeding consistently. And the people who are consistent, you know, shout out to them for one, but does it really look that much different than an old Juan Gotti American Pit Bull Terrier? No, It doesn't. So, food for thought. I want to put it out there and let you know, or, just have a discussion about why the American bully, it still has so much trouble to this day being recognized as a breed. It takes 3 dogs to make a breed. They wanted to avoid putting the bulldog in at the start. Now it's kind of evident. But with that, we have more brachial issues. We have soft palates. We have all types of plethora of issues, because when you do Google bulldog, Google literally says plethora of issues. So to avoid those things, in my opinion, they need to reintroduce back the terrier and then breed the health back into the dog so that the breed can last. And you don't back it into a corner, as there have been many videos going around of extinction where it no longer exists. So remember, 3 breeds to make a dog. If you're using 2 specific breeds or ideas of a dog inside of a breed, then it's just a cross. And a cross means you just create a different iteration or a look of something that already has a look, which is why the Staffordshire, looks so much like the pit bull. And along with many other dogs that basically are just iterations of themselves. Again, American bulldog, Old English bulldog, Alapaha bulldog. You know what those dogs are. They all look like bulldogs. 2 finger snoots, kind of a brachial breed. French bulldog. They all look the same for a reason. They're crosses to get smaller, bigger, larger, wider, whatever, more bone, whatever. They're crosses for a reason. So protect your dog, protect your breed by informing and educating yourself on what it means to really better the breed. I've been going down a rabbit hole trying to make sense of this whole dog thing and breed thing, and trying to figure out how do I make sure that I secure and create a look that makes a fit bully unique. And for me, since still the breed's unidentifiable beyond a reasonable doubt, of 100 people lined up, and I'm talking about every average day Joes, they would not call this dog an American bully. Almost, I'd say 90% of them would say that's a pit bull, period. And your consumer, for those people who do this for business, are the people who are not showing the dogs, or the people who want them in their house. So yeah, people are aware and they know what the American bully is to a degree. But I'm almost willing to bet 90 out of 100 people would say it's a pit bull, or just on steroids. So, Tifa here for Bully TV, people, signing off. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm bringing more information to you in conversation. Just keep you guys updated and informed, so you kind of know what you're up against as you get into this bully space. The dog hopefully isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but in order to keep it alive, we have to protect the overall well-being, welfare, and health of the dog. And that's what we're doing here.